Now the weather is so amazing, it's the start of spring, so I decided I had to do a video outside. And today I'm going to be talking about 5 reasons why businesses fail. Now the first one, and for me the most important, is does your business, does your product actually serve an addressable need? Is there an underserved need that your potential users or customers have that your product can solve? Now what I've done is I've done a post-it note here with drawings. This one's representing medicine versus vitamins. And that's to say really that a lot of people talk about customer wants and needs and bundle all that together, and they don't necessarily realise that sometimes their product doesn't serve a real burning need. It's not the kind of medication, it's not going to solve an underlying problem. It could be something that is much more long-term in terms of its benefits for a user. Now that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Having a vitamin kind of product isn't necessarily a really bad thing. You've just got to know that at the onset. But understanding whether your product is a need or a want, whether it's medicine or a vitamin, is a really important thing to address. The second reason is that you launch your product too late. Or maybe you didn't even launch. Now, I was just reminded of this because I did a podcast show, or an interview show way back before Christmas. I was just going through it and I was like, why didn't I just release this? And the reason I didn't release it is because I was a little bit worried about how it fit with my overall YouTube videos, how it fit with the rest of my channel. Is it something I was going to carry on with? It wasn't something that was a one-off. And I was kind of figuring out what it was, and I didn't end up doing anything with it. I'm going to release that in the next couple of days, because what's the point of doing it if I'm not going to launch it? And often people don't launch their product because they're worried about it not being absolutely perfect. Now I've talked about the problem with perfection in previous videos, so I'll put a link to that as well. But that is one, either launching too slowly or failing to launch altogether. Now number 3 is you didn't have the right team. You didn't execute well enough as a team. Now there's a whole load of underlying problems here, but often we have the wrong team to start with. We don't have doers. Sometimes we have people that want to work on the company rather than in the company. I've experienced that firsthand, for example. Sometimes we just don't have the right balance between product, technology, marketing, sales. Making sure that we've got that right team together that complement each other rather than being the similar kind of people is a really important thing. Now number 4, pretty straightforward, but it's amazing how many people miss this, and that's not making any money, or worse, not having a really good business model, not figuring out what the business model is. Now there's always this balance between getting the product out there and figuring out the business model later, and that's often what big kind of Silicon Valley tech companies looking for that kind of high investment thing go for. They figure out what the business model is afterwards. The difficulty with that is if you're not bringing in money, it's very difficult to get to the point where you're sustainable, where you can even figure out what the business model is going to be. Particularly in the UK, the ecosystem in the startup world is that you've got to be generating revenue. So figuring out your business model early is a really important way to go. Number 5, last one, and in some ways should be up here at the top, this is not in any particular order, is have you identified the right users to be addressing? Have you even gone down to the niche, down to the really specific elements of who your users are, where they are, where you can find them? Have you spoken to them? Have you understood really intricately what their problems are? Have you just left it a bit too broad? Have you not identified your specific target market and audience for your product? Or are you going after the wrong audience altogether for your product as well? Now, as I said, I have had all of these problems in previous startups. I'm going to do a video coming up quite soon in the next few days, hopefully, all about the lessons that I've learned over the business failures that I've had over the last few years. But hopefully that's been useful. 5 reasons why your business or your product may well fail. Wow, it's getting warm out here, so I'm going to go back inside, pull down my blinds and get editing this video so I can get it over to you as quickly as possible. Please do like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing new videos every day. Might miss 1 or 2 here and there, but I'm going to be aiming for videos every day for about the next 85 days or something like that, because of my 100 video challenge that I'm on. And I'll catch you next time.